Do we realize that more than 48% of jobs as of today won't exist by 2035? Do we foresee that more than 1/3 of the skills that the future world will demand from our children are not even considered important today? Do we understand that more than 90% of common mental health and well-being issues go untreated and unaddressed? What is the aspect that a student needs the most in life? It is guidance, scientific guidance. More often than not, we rely on unauthenticated, non-verified, non-personalized sources for guidance. This is as damaging as self-treating with the help of the internet than going to see an expert doctor. CBSE, India's premier education board, and Guinness World Record winning Lifeology are partnering to organize one of the largest guidance festivals in the world from September 19th to the 24th. The certification program will provide scientific guidance for life and career, along with assessments, games, quizzes, and scholarship opportunities. Top brains from around the world are coming together to guide and mentor our students. National Guidance Festival 2022. Register now.
Shuma bimale mashank baya bimale manadr baya Shuma bimale mashank baya bimale manadr baya
Babule sire shuma bimale Babule sire shuma bimale Urdale sire shuma bimale Urdale sire shuma bimale Shuma bimale mashank baya bimale manadr baya Bimale mashank baya bimale manadr baya Babule sire shuma bimale Babule sire shuma bimale Urdale sire shuma bimale Urdale sire shuma bimale
बड़े नाजना की जी नाजना वो शौक कने कुल साजना उस्ते दरे लुसबाजना की जी नाजना बर नाजना ख्वाजा कना नी उस खुदा कपियस कने दोस्तान जुदा काटुम कना लेकिन फिदा वो बर नाजना जी नाजना बर नाजना जी नाजना वो शौक कने कुल साजना उस्ते दरे लुसबाजना की जी नाजना ही तस्कवा
मनवती सालों का वत बिना ज़ेना मनवती सालों का वत बिना ज़ेना मनवती सालों का वत बिना ज़ेना मनवती सालों आहा मनवती सालों वल्लाह मनवती सालों का वत बिना ज़ेना
Armane sire shuma bimale Armane sire shuma bimale Babule sire shuma bimale Babule sire shuma bimale Shuma bimale mashank baya bimale manadr baya Bimale mashank baya bimale manadr baya Babule sire shuma bimale Babule sire shuma bimale Urdale sire shuma bimale Urdale sire shuma bimale
पूजा किनार बालठी के पट्टा खनाने शालठी कुशिंगा ठिनार ना आलठी वो जी नाजना बर नाजना उच्छा कुले शौनम बना उच्छा उन्हें शौनम बना के जाने से लट बम बना परियस अरेस नी दम बना के जी नाजना बर नाजना जी नाजना शौकस कने कुल साजना उस्ते दरे नुसबाजना के जी नाजना ई तस्कवा
Sera ye basta walla majlisan ishta Sera ye basta walla majlisan ishta Sera ye basta walla majlisan ishta Sera ye basta aha sera ye basta baba sera ye basta walla majlisan ishta
Bradere sireshma be malle Bradere sireshma be malle Babule sireshma be malle Babule sireshma be malle
Shuma be malle mashank baya be malle manadr baya be malle mashank baya be malle manadr baya
Babule sireshma be malle
Bashmalle
Babule sireshma be malle
Bashmalle
Urdale sireshma be malle
Bashmalle
Urdale sireshma be malle
Bashmalle
Babule sireshma be malle
Bashmalle
Babule sireshma be malle
Bashmalle
Urdale sireshma be malle
जीतरा
Urdale sireshma be malle
Are you a student of class 8 to 12? Are you confused about your career? Do you want to know how to develop 21st century skills? CBSE, India's premier education board in association with Guinness World Record winning Lifeology Foundation, is organizing the world's largest guidance festival for teenagers. Mark your calendar from September 19 to 24. Listen to the brightest brains across the world, interact with expert mentors, and get connected with global wizards. You will end up with perfect clarity regarding career, skill development, and emotional well-being. Also, grab a valuable certificate marking your participation. Don't miss this opportunity. Register now.
India in deep trouble now, having lost 2 matches in a row.
अपना है दिल ये आज का
मैं मैच देखने नहीं आऊंगा। पापा कहते हैं इंडिया कभी जीतती तो है नहीं।
बोल दो ऐसे जागो रे साथियों दुनिया की आंखें खोल दो लहरा दो
Hello, good evening, namaste, namaskar, namaskaram. This is Deepa Rahulishwar from Lifeology Foundation, and I welcome you to an amazing evening. आप सबको बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आज की शाम के लिए जो कि आप सब बहुत बेरहमी से इंतजार कर रहे थे. हाँ, मैं भी बहुत इंतजार कर रही थी आज की शाम के लिए. आप सबको बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, बहुत खुशी के साथ में आप सबको स्वागत करना चाहूंगी. Of course, to an amazing evening, the beginning of a life-changing voyage. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to your future. Yes. Is there anyone here who has not once wished to know what's awaiting them in future? आप तो कभी ना कभी सोचा होगा कि मेरा भविष्य क्या होगा, मेरे फ्यूचर में क्या होगा, मैं क्या बनूंगा अपनी फ्यूचर में, है ना? क्या डॉक्टर बनूंगा या इंजीनियर या सिविल सर्विस ऑफिसर, क्या होगा, है ना? कभी ना कभी तो सोचा ही होगा आपने. भाई मैं तो बहुत सोची हूँ. तो आई एम श्योर इवन यू हैव थॉट अबाउट इट. द एबिलिटी टू नो योर फ्यूचर क्लियरली, okay, and being ready for it. It's a surreal experience. And my dear boys and girls, that's the experience we want to showcase this week. Dear ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, India's most prominent education board, Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE, the board that has taught me, the board that has taught you, the board that is teaching my son, and the board that will teach generations to come. Yes, I'm talking about CBSE, along with Guinness World Record winning Lifeology Foundation, brings to you the nation's largest, I repeat, the nation's largest guidance festival for students, the National Guidance Festival. Yeah. Well, I can hear the applause. I really wish, we were all in a hall and we could hear the thunderous applause in the in the hall. But yeah, I mean, we've got so many, we've got lakhs of them watching us right now, and it's practically impossible to have everyone in a hall together, right? So how do you feel? This is truly an amazing evening. It's a one-of-a-kind evening. आप बताइए आपको क्या लग रहा है आज? एक्साइटेड फील कर रहे हैं? आपकी फीलिंग क्या है? आपकी एक्साइटमेंट हमारे साथ शेयर कीजिए. यूज द चैट बॉक्स टू फिल इन योर चैट्स. Tell us what you feel. आप अभी क्या महसूस कर रहे हैं? आप तो एक्साइटमेंट फील कर रहे हैं कि क्यूरियसनेस फील कर रहे हैं? क्या फील कर रहे हो? क्या महसूस कर रहे हो आप लोग? Come on, I want you to put it up on the chat box and say a big hi to all of us here, because we would really love to have a big warm hug and a hi from all of you. So hi, my dear boys and girls, and I really want to hear from all of you as to how you feel today. Okay? Yes, someone has said that he's feeling excited. Yes. And someone else, well, this is really surreal. Yes, surreal is the word, definitely. So lot of chats coming up. I'll say a big hi to all of you. Yes, hi. Good evening. Yes, a lot of them saying good evening. Thank you so much. All right. So the National Guidance Festival. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to day one of this fascinating digital experience, hosting more than lakhs of students and parents across different parts of the nation. We had an overwhelming experience coming in from over 20,000 schools, principals, lakhs of students and parents from different schools, and of course, the guests and the speakers who were invited to address the students. They immediately accepted our invite without a question. It just goes on to show the acceptance that CBSE, the board, has garnered in the education arena of India, and the trust that students and parents place in this board that has always strived to bring out the best in our children and mold them towards skilled professionals in the future, and not just being a stereotypical educational board. CBSE always goes one step ahead to see what else can we do to make our children future ready. And that's where Lifeology Foundation comes in. Lifeology Foundation is proud to be associated with CBSE on this venture. Lifeology, as you may know, is a Guinness World Record winning organization that has done multiple projects, okay, and events in schools, for students, for children, to ensure that we do everything in our capacity towards making students future ready. And ladies and gentlemen, we've done so many. You're going to see a lot of these spaces out here. We have a vibrant group of Lifeology youth ambassadors who will be coming on the panel. Yes, you're going to see all the glimpses of what we have done. So we have an incredible lineup of speakers have some interesting conversations through panel discussions awaiting you through the week. So, my dear boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, clear your schedules and brace yourselves to get started for one of its kind experience that you've ever witnessed. So, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we start? Yes, can I hear it from you once more? Yes, yes, that's what I want. That's the energy that I want. I can hear you all say, yes, well done. All right. So, Shirin Lakshmi has said, getting ready to learn something new and exciting. Yes, Shirin, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You're going to learn so much more this week. A lot of new chats coming in. We'll come to the chats. But before all of that, I would like to welcome someone who's extremely special to us. He's none other than Dr. Biswajit Saha, Director, Training and Skill Education, CBSE. Ladies and gentlemen, over to him. But before that, let's take a look at a very short video about him. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like to welcome none other than Dr. Biswajit Saha, the man behind skill development of CBSE. And, he always tries to achieve, more than the normal for our children and making them future ready. I'm so proud and so happy to invite and welcome none other than Dr. Biswajit Saha to please welcome our gathering. There are lakhs of students and parents waiting to hear from you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Deepa. Good evening and welcome to all my dear parents and students. It is really a momentous occasions for CBSE as well as Lifeology. And here we are welcoming all the dear parents. First of all, we are extremely happy to welcome our leader, chairpersons, Ms. Nidhi Chibbar ma'am, to this August gathering, and Secretary Skill Educations, Government of India, Sri Atul Kumar Tiwari. We are welcoming to this event, sir, and Honorable Secretary, School Education Literacy. She may not able to join right at this moment, but her blessings are very much with us. And all our eminent resource persons, panelists who have already given their consent to join us in this whole week. It is really a first of its kind guidance festival where one way Central Board of Secondary Educations, all our team members, Team CBSE is very much excited to directly interacting with the parents community, because many a times with a layer that is between school and parents, between parents and student, I think the direct communication channel is not that way established, but this kind of guidance festival is actually towards that. And here, throughout this complete 1 week, multiple field experts, whether it is scientist, social entrepreneur, space scientist, and a creative writer, to all together, a huge plethora of experts will be there. And I think parent community and student community are going to get this opportunity, not only listen to them, but they will also get the opportunity to directly interacting with those field experts. And through this kind of those who are getting the direct link, especially more than 2 lakh student has already registered. I think they have already got the direct link from our side. But those who have not registered, joining us through YouTube link, we are once again welcoming you all to this gala event and requesting you to be with us, not only in this evening time, and also certain things if we skip, you can later also view it. But my request to the student and parent, don't miss the opportunity to interact with all our experts. With this, let me stop here. Only things, let me thanks the Lifeology who has already come up with, whether it is Guinness Book of World Record or certain other area, bringing the field experts. I'm thankful to Lifeology for at least bringing all these international speakers to this forum. And thanks to our chairpersons, because with her visions and leadership, I think we are able to organize this event. Once again, thank you, and over to you, Deepa.
Thank you so much, sir. You just spoke the words that everyone has been waiting for, because absolutely this is an exciting, I think excitement is the one word that describes this entire evening. And so there's a lot of excitement in store for you this week. But before we get there, we are going to officially inaugurate the National Guidance Festival. Yes, my dear boys and girls, just get ready and brace yourself for the official inauguration. And for that, I would like to invite none other than Senior IAS Officer and Chairperson of CBSE, Ms. Nidhi Chibbar. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome none other than Ms. Nidhi Chibbar forward for the inaugural address of the National Guidance Festival. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Very happy to be a part of the National Guidance Festival, and thanks to Lifeology for organizing this in association with CBSE. And as Dr. Saha has already explained, the idea is basically to guide our students at that crucial stage in which they are right now, in what direction they want to take for their future careers, how to cope up with the stress which comes with, advancing to upper classes. And hearing it from the experts would make a big difference. Those who are the practitioners of these crafts and skills, and giving them an opportunity to interact with them and involve the parents is something new, and I'm hoping we'll get a great response from all the schools, the students, the parents and teachers. And you have lined up a wide range of speakers, and I think I'll also try to join in 1 or 2 sessions to hear for myself what they have to say. And I would also request if you can have some kind of a feedback mechanism from the participants as to, which of the speakers they liked or they would want more information, and maybe we can later on have some more detailed sessions on those particular topics which they want us to cover. For example, stress, mental health is something which CBSE is doing in association with UNICEF also. It's a part of our teachers training program. So the feedback which we get from our participants will help us to kind of streamline that particular module for the teachers so that we can give very targeted inputs to our students. So very, very excited, and nothing much to say. Thanks again. And I welcome you all, and let's make it a great session. Please, for the students and teachers, please feel free to interact with the speakers, get your doubts resolved, and let us know how you feel about this sessions. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, ma'am, absolutely, we do have a feedback mechanism, and we would really want to hear from you. I mean, after every session, we would be taking a look at the reviews that is coming, and we will see what better we can do. But yes, do go ahead and give us your honest review on things, and that's really what we want to hear, right? All right, thank you so much, ma'am, for that encouraging talk that you gave. Thank you so much. Let us move on, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, we have officially inaugurated the National Guidance Festival organized by CBSE and Lifeology Foundation. Thank you all for joining us once again. And now we have a few very interesting personalities with us. Let's listen to them. First, I'd like to invite for the keynote address of the evening, Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, IAS, Secretary, Department of Skill Education and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepaji. Madam Nidhi Chibbar, madam. I'm here at the invitation of CBSE and particularly Dr. Saha. And I think it is a great thing that the CBSE does by way of this National Guidance Festival. Since I can speak on behalf of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, I would like to state that mere education is not enough. We also need a lot of skills, soft as well as hard skills, to move forward. And our Honorable Prime Minister has been repeatedly saying that today in the modern world, there is a need for us to skill ourselves, reskill ourselves, and upskill ourselves. And as everybody would have noticed during the COVID epidemic, a lot of us have learned many new skills as well. And one example would be the blended learning which we have, which has come to stay. With the Education Ministry, we are also working on Skill Hub project, whereby selected schools in CBSE, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya Vidyalayas, we are allowing them to have some skilling through the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. There is also a lot of work has taken place in terms of the credit framework, in which right from the class 1 till class 12, the credit system is also being designed and is in the public circulation. Myself, Chibbar ma'am, and Mr. Saha are all members of that group. And that report will come out in circulation very soon. The point I'm trying to emphasize here is that skilling is also being recognized as a stepping stone by way of credits, so that a student can either pursue higher skilling or can pursue higher academic degrees as well, so that the stepmotherly attitude which we had about the skilling will no longer be there. And all of this is enshrined in the Revolutionary National Education Policy, which allows for vocationalization of the academic education as well. And as you would know, right from class 6 to 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, the skilling subjects will no longer be optional, but it will be compulsory, for which Department of School Education and Literacy is working with all support of all the stakeholders on the national curriculum framework as well. So I would appeal to you and the Lifeology, what a lovely name, Lifeology. And to all the participants from the CBSE ecosystem, that if you were to give guidance to the young adults, we'd also like to give some guidance to the chairpersons of the CBSE schools as well, so that the Skill India initiative gets internalized in the CBSE system, so that the students, while they get their academic degrees, they also get some skills on which they can feel happy, they can move forward and make themselves more relevant to the changing times. Thank you very much, Deepa ji. Thank you, Chibbar ma'am and Saha ji. Dhanyavad, Jai Hind.
बहुत धन्यवाद sir. Thank you so much. You just said the most important thing, that everyone needs some sort of a guidance, and also, of course, the name Lifeology. We've got biology, we've got geology, we've got zoology, but we don't have lifeology. That's not happening. So then we thought, why not lifeology? Yes, so that's the science of life. We'll not get there. That's a whole new topic of discussion altogether. But thank you so much, Shri Atul Kumar Tiwari, for your address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my dear boys and girls, we have someone from Lifeology coming to address you. He is none other than the co-founder and chief lifeologist of Lifeology Foundation, Mr. Rahul J. Nair. Well, Mr. Rahul Nair needs no special welcome, because he has been part of, the soul of this entire program along with the Lifeology team. He is part of the Lifeology family. So, Rahul Nair, over to you. Just like how Atul sir said, what a beautiful name, Lifeology, and you're the chief lifeologist. Everyone's looking forward to that. So, over to you, Rahul.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ziva. Good evening to all participants. Honorable Chairperson, Madam Nidhi Chibbar, IAS, the man behind this very idea, Dr. Bishwadit Saha, the Director of Training and Skill Education to CBSE, and our keynote addressee, Atul Kumar Tiwari, IAS, Secretary, Department of Skill Education Entrepreneurship, my friend Praveen, and all of the guests on the panel. It's a great evening, and today we are starting the National Guidance Festival. We have been thinking about this very idea from the past 4 or 5 months, and it has now come up as a reality. So foremost, I would like to thank CBSE and the all officials who are connected with CBSE for allowing us to do this program, to perform this in a fantastic way. And I'm once again thanking all the principals from the past few days. For the past 40, 50 days, I was traveling pan-India. I started from Jammu and Kashmir till down the Kanyakumari. I have traveled many places and met many principals and requested them that this is a fantastic program. This is an inevitable program for your children. And this program is going to give you a great idea about skill, careers, education, and so on and so forth. So thank you very much to all the principals who are watching this, because it is because of you we have got 200,000 plus people online right now, and we are expecting 1 million people to listen to this program, and they will be the beneficiary for the same. Thank you once again. And we are going to see a fantastic week starting from today. And this week will be online, digital mode, just like how you are watching. And again, more than this, we will be able to interact with a lot of guests. And I would like to tell some of the names of these guests. Before that, I would like to tell something about this program. What is going to happen? This program is from today, 19th to 24th of September 2022. And 19th to 23rd, we'll be having evening events starting from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. People who are joining from UAE, please make sure that you are catching up with Indian Standard Time, which is for Gulf region, mostly it will be 4:30 p.m. Sometimes it is 3:30 p.m. So please make sure that you are checking with Indian Standard Time. And on Saturday, we'll be having a great day, a full day event starting from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be discussing about various topics on all these occasions, and great mentors are joining for this program. And This will be fully digital and fully online mode. And this National Guidance Festival, why you should attend? This is a question which everybody is asking. Why? What is the importance of this? I would like to tell you there are numerous courses. Now, when I go to meet various principals, I used to give them a small task, a small challenge to them. In your mind, how many careers you can tell right now? Just try to think how many careers you can think. How many careers you can think?
Well, Rahul, in my days, I mean, I don't want to sound too old, but honestly, when I was supposed to choose a career, I just had two options, either engineering or medicine, and I had to go for engineering.
No, this is nothing to wonder, Deva, because there is a saying, people speak their world. Depends on region to region, geography to geography. People think about the immediate the circle and they speak. Now down in South, in some part, they'll say IT engineer. Some people say doctor. Some people, they say, if you go to Mumbai, when I asked this question in Mumbai, they said the Lal Street, a stockbroker in Karol Bagh in Delhi, there are a lot of successful chartered accountants. So this is chartered accountant. In some region of Punjab, they said they wanted to become army man. And in Gujarat, that was my last visit, there's a diamond merchant. Like that, people are speaking about their world. So when you ask this most important question in your life, what do you want to become when you grow up, they speak about that, their immediate world. So careers, when it comes to careers, we can maximum say 100 or 200. Let me tell you, dear friends who are watching this, there are numerous careers, more than 7,000 careers in this world and 98,000 plus courses in this world. So foremost, we are going to discuss about some of them. We will not be able to cover all these 98,000 or 7,000 number, which I said. We will be speaking about in-depth session on various careers and the future job market. In-depth career. So what are the opportunities in humanities? What are the opportunities in e-commerce and management? What is upcoming thing? What is the latest trend in medical sciences? So this is coming from horse's mouth. There will be a lot of mentors who are going to talk to you. And regarding the future job market, now we know we are in a world of technology. We are in a world of AI. We are hearing a lot of high funder words, but we'll be discussing about the same thing. What will be the future of all these things? Next is know the changing trends in careers and how to choose it rightly. You know, the people commit a lot of mistakes while committing careers. Sometimes they follow the trends and the glamour, money. But let me tell you, dear friends, a meaningful career is something that gives you purpose in your life, that can give you fulfillment, that can give you happiness, that can give you financial security. That's the definition which we say about a meaningful career. So if you want to lead a meaningful career, there is a person who is waiting to discuss about the same. My good friend and CEO of Lifeology, Mr. Praveen, will be telling you about this session in detail about it. So how to choose the right career, that's very, very important topic. That will be the kickstarting event. And now we will be having an exclusive session on science and technology, genetics, biology and life sciences, commerce, management. Now, we think about science, we think about engineering, we think about medical sciences, but we will be talking more about those things. And people from different parts of the world are joining. Please don't miss these sessions. This will be a great session. It will be, I'm sure it will definitely enlighten you and will take you to the next level of your understanding about various careers around the world. And then we will be speaking about a lot of skill sets which is required for the modern day world. Now, you know, the new education policy and CBSE is also thinking about the Millennium Competency or 21st Century Skills, which is required for our children. So how to sharpen these skills? What are these skills? What are the various ways and methods and methodologies to sharpen these skills? We'll be discussing in detail. And experts from various fields will be definitely telling you about this. And then what are the must-have skills that you need to sharpen for the future? And then a very important thing, you know, we are all interested to get scholarships, right? We all need scholarships. And, you know, I'll tell you a very interesting fact. Numerous scholarships are unutilized or untapped in this country. There are thousands of scholarships, which is either by a private agency or a not-for-profit organization or by the government. We don't know how to tap it. And also there are a lot of international scholarships. How to prepare for that? There are numerous scholarships. We'll be having an exclusive session, how to win scholarships. And also we'll be telling about how to prepare for various examinations. That will be the nutshell of this entire event. But having said in 5 minutes, it's not everything. You will be meeting various personalities, people from NASA, people from United Nations, people from government agencies, people from engineering segments, people from genetics, please wait for this event. And I'm sure this will be a memorable event for all of you. And wishing you all the best. Thank you, Deepa, for the opportunity. And once again, I would like to thank CBSE on behalf of Lifeology and people who are joining. Please stay tuned. Keep your eyes and ears on the screen. This will be a life-changing event to you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rahul Nair. Ladies and gentlemen, that was co-founder of Lifeology and the chief lifologist, the man behind all of our scientific assessments to, scan the personality overall to understand what fits you best. So we will hear from him a lot more in the sessions to come. But for now, that's it for him. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Now, of course, right now we have officials from CBSE, we have officials from Lifeology, and very soon we're moving into the session of the day, which we had so many responses towards, which is how to suit. I mean, yes, Praveen, go ahead.
Deepa, this is Praveen. I think we need to go to the out of thanks now.
Of course, yes, definitely we'll do it. I was just giving them a hint of what comes after the Hall of Thanks so that they know what's in store for them. We're definitely going in there. So yes, like I said, how to choose the most suitable career. It's coming up very soon. But right now, of course, the official inauguration come to an end. And to mark the official end to such an auspicious evening, I'd like to invite none other than Shri R.P. Singh, Joint Secretary, Skill Education. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at a very short audiovisual about him. Yes, once again, on behalf of CBSE and Lifeology Foundation, I'd like to welcome a dedicated educational thinker who always wants to enhance the standard of education in India, an educator at heart who wants to impart wisdom and inspire change. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Shri R.P. Singh, Joint Secretary, Skill Education, to propose word of thanks for this official event. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Deepa. I hope you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up.
Absolutely, loud and clear.
Thank you so much. And first of all, your excitement is very infectious. And a very big thank you to all the officers, our Honorable Chairperson, ma'am, from IESR, from Rahulji, from Lifeology, Atulji from Ministry of Skill Development, and our dear Director, Dr. Saha, for sparing the time to be a part of this inaugural ceremony. Swami Vivekananda ji has said that guidance is like a small torch. It might not show you the whole way, but it will definitely tell you where to go. So this is a humble beginning from CBSE. We have been dealing from the other side with the schools only. For the first time, CBSE is coming and doing some program for the students and the parents. And we are very thankful. We have had a huge response, around 2 lakh registrations with more than 60,000 in the last 24 hours. And Praveenji has been kind enough to update me for every registration that happens. Thank you. And this is something that has us very excited, but at the same time, it has us very cautious and very apprehensive also. With so many registrations and so many people wanting to join in, we need to be very good. We need to be the best. So we have a lot of speakers lined up for the program, and we hope that the guidance will definitely help the children take up the path which is good for them, maybe at least make some informed choices in their life. Career and life, no matter how much you prepare for it, life is something that happens to you for which you're not prepared. So I wish all the best to all the people who have joined in. Please make sure that you interact and you make sure that you don't miss any sessions. Whether you are able to join live or you're able to take the live feed from YouTube, or maybe you take a deferred feed or a delayed feed or joined a little one day later. But definitely please make sure of the opportunity. This is the first time that CBSE has taken such a step, but this is not the last. We'll take the learnings from here. We'll definitely take it forward, and we will look forward to Lifeology and other organizations collaborating with us for many more of these programs. Thank you so much for the time to be part of this inaugural session. Heartfelt thanks to Atulji from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, our Honorable Chairperson, ma'am, for sparing the time, Director Dr. Biswajit Saha, and Rahulji from Lifeology Foundation. Thank you so much. Back to you, Deepa.
Hello, Deepa. I think we'll take it forward from here. So Rahul, am I audible?
Yes, Praveen, you're loud and clear.
Sure. So thank you very much for everybody who were attending the inauguration session, and for the Honorable Chairperson, the respected Secretary to Skill and Entrepreneurship, Director Sahar Sir, RP Singh Ji, everybody to be part of this inaugural session. Thank you very much. And for every principal and for every education leader, parent and student who are listening to us, a big thanks. So after this, so the inaugural event come to an official end, and now we are getting into the first session. We are getting into the first session of National Guidance Festival that is about how to plan your career. So I'm Praveen Parameshwar, Chief Executive Officer, Lifeology, and I will be interacting with you for next an hour time on this topic, how to decide or how to plan the best career for you. Okay. And now let me tell you a couple of things before we jump into the content. Number one, so I may not be a person who is cracking a lot of jokes to keep you alive. To keep you alive during the session. So, or to keep you engaged with the session. But I may be talking something which is very serious and very content-based, but I can assure you that that is very, very objective as well. So kindly ensure that you keep your focus on throughout the session. Number two, so I would like to take it as a very interactive session. And how to interact? Due to the number of participants who are coming for the program, as Deepa said before, we do have limitation to go for a direct one-to-one video interaction. But instead, what we can do is you can post your questions onto the platform which you have joined. So whichever platform you are listening to me through, so post your questions into the chat box when I'm talking, and the moderator will be picking up the question and shooting to me so that I can answer the question. So I would like to take it in a very interactive manner. That is the second point I want to share with you. So the third point I want to share with you. So whatever we are discussing today, for the next 1 hour, which we are discussing today, will be having impact in all of your life for maybe for next a couple of decades. So please make sure that your focus is on to the session. You're totally engaged and involved with what is happening here, and you shoot the right questions so that we can end this session with extreme clarity on how to prepare for the right career. So what's going to happen now? We are going to step into the session on how to prepare for or how to plan the most suitable career. That's the title, and the session will be very interactive, so that I would like you to post your questions, and we will be taking the questions and interacting each other and moving forward, and make yourself totally engaged and fully into this session. Let's start. Okay. I have a question to you to start with. What is a career? What do you mean by career? Just type your questions here, type your answers here. So what do you mean by career? Okay, so the questions are coming in like how to become a computer engineer, how to become a robotic engineer. We'll take those questions for sure, and there are specific sessions as well. But here the question is, what do you mean by a career? The questions are like, the career is something which we earn, which we do for earning. The career is which we do for work. The career is something as a profession. The career is work. It is job. It is life. It is profession. It is it's passion. The career is MBBS. The career is commerce. The career means career. career means profession. So the answers are like career means profession, career means jobs, career means a specific field of activity, career means a specific field which we are getting into. Of course, all these are careers. But I would like to share a definition with you about career. And I would like to tell you, you see the question on screen right now, right? What is career? And I would like to tell you, yes, as you rightly said, it is job, it is career, it is profession, it is something which is life, and everything is right. But on top of that, career is something. Here's, this is how I want to define career for you now. One thing which you are going to spend more time with than you would be spending with your mom or your dad or your friends or in future your wife or husband or kids. This is what is going to be your career. You're getting the point? So the career, as you rightly said, maybe a job, maybe a profession, maybe something which is engaging yourself, maybe something which is helping you to win your bread. But I would like to define career for you as one thing which you are going to spend more time with than you would be spending with your mom or dad or friends, or in future your wife, husband, or kids. This is going to be career. You would be working as a doctor, you would be working as an engineer, a space scientist, a biochemist, an anti-aging specialist, a happiness expert, or like a life coach, or you may be a graphic or product designer. So in whichever profession you are getting into, if you are taking it as a career, so you would be spending your majority of time into that. And that is the definition you have to give for career. And let me ask you another question. Why is career super important in life? What do you think? I told you what career is, right? And now I come to the question, why is career super important in life? Yes, I'm getting your responses like career is important because we are spending more time into that. As you rightly said, I mean, as I told now, yes, career is important, because it can help me earn a lot. Career is important because it helps me live. Career is important because I enjoy. Career is my passion. It's because money, it's because of our hobby, it's because money, it's our legacy, it's life, it's money. Yes, of course, career brings a lot of money to us for sure, but there are some more other reasons as well, which is making career super important in our life. It is money. Career is which we do for living, of course, but it is something which is more. Experience, survival, career inspires us, build knowledge, fulfilling necessities for money. Of course, see, career is super important in life, of course, because of a major reason. You said, of course, money is important. I also agree, so career influences the financial level and stability of our life. No doubt. Career, of course, influences our financial level as well as stability. But what more? Have you ever thought that career also creates our social identity? Let me ask you, just think about 5 people who you know about, other than your close relatives, friends, and neighbors. Other than your close relatives, friends, and neighbors, think about any 5 people who you know about. It may be a cricket player. I'm sure now you're thinking about these names and some names are coming into your mind. Yes, of course, cricket players are there. Bollywood actors are there, actresses are there, scientists are there, politicians are there. A lot of names are coming into your mind, right? And I can see a lot of names coming into the chat as well. How do you know all these people? We know these people totally based on the profession or the career which they are into. See, most of the people, maybe 90% of people in our life, other than our neighbors, our friends, and our classmates, we know these people because of the profession they are into. We know Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma because they play cricket. We know Bollywood actors because they act in movies. We know certain politicians because they are into politics. We know certain investment bankers because they are into investment banking. We know writers because they are into writing. Like, which is extremely important. So the career become very, very important because it creates our social identity as well. What you are going to be in future will be decided by your career also. That is a second reason why career becomes super important. And another one, career will decide your level of influence and power in your society. That is again another one, right? So many people want to be influential in their life. Many people want to be powerful in their life. So the career will be one important thing which is making a person influential as well as powerful in this world. The upper you climb in the ladder in career, the top you reach in career, the successful you become in career, you become so influential and so powerful in the society. And on top of that, on top of this financial stability, social identity, and also influence and power, career is also important because it has a huge impact in your happiness. It has a huge impact in your happiness. Why? As I mentioned before, we are going to spend a humongous amount of time, too much of time on career, right? When we are spending too much of time on career, if we are not becoming happy during that time, do you think that we will be able to expand our happiness to rest of our life? May not be. So it has so much of importance in deciding how happy we are going to be. And also, in a very philosophical note, career is something which can give you some purpose in your life as well, some why to live. I want to change this world. You can be a politician. You can be a social activist. You can be a policy maker. I want to make the financial systems in this world stronger. You can be a financial analyst. You can be an investment banker. I want to explore this universe. You can be an astrobiologist or an astrophysicist or an astronaut or a space scientist. We're having sessions, direct interaction with a NASA scientist. I want to influence people through my writing. You can be a next generation Chetan Bhagat or Ashwin Sankhi or Anand Nilakanthan. So you can be an author there. So that means you will find your why or purpose with your career. See, these are some of the major things you have to keep in your mind to make sure. Why I'm explaining all this, because you have to think a lot seriously about career, because these are some of the reasons which is making career super important in our life. So that's the second point I wanted to tell you. So number one is, of course, somebody is saying, like Fida is saying, career is important because you want to settle in life. Of course, that's where I was saying, for financial level and also the stability in life, career is important. So somebody is saying career influences the level of security. Of course, the social identity, social security, the financial security, everything is decided by career. And Danusha is saying, I have no idea regarding my career. Danusha, this entire guidance conclave is being organized to provide people like you with extreme clarity about your life. By the end of these 6 days, I can assure you that you will end up with extreme clarity about what you want to become in your life. Got it? So this is the second point, why career is super important. And now, what are the top 3 mistakes people make? Now I want to hear this from you. What are the top 3 mistakes people make while planning such a very important aspect in life? We already discussed about what is career and why career is important. Now I want to listen from you. What are the top 3 mistakes people make while planning such a very important aspect in life? Let me listen to you that. Oh, in between, I'm not confident about my career. Of course, by the end of this program, not only this session, by the end of next Saturday, you will be more and more clear about career. That is something which I can assure you. So, yeah, moving with the crowd, public image, following trends, losing concentration, influenced by others, lack of information, public image, laziness, pressure from others, trends. Of course, you are parental pressure, peer pressure, overthinking, trend, money, lack of concentration. Oh, these are some of the, I think the comments are like shooting up. I'm just trying to, I'm finding it very hard to follow the comments, listening to others, money, greed of money. So we think only about money. So the trends, of course, see the trends, peer pressure, parental pressure. So not following the real passion in life. There are so many mistakes people make while planning such a very, very important aspect in life. You know, a very important and daunting statistic. Hardly 5% of people, hardly 5% of people in this world reaches the right career in first attempt. Why? Because many of these people make one of these three mistakes when they are choosing their career. Number one, as many of you rightly said, we follow momentary trends. Following trends is not a problem. But for a person who is into 12th now, you will be getting into a career maybe after 7 years, maybe after 4 years or 5 years. So if you are just following a momentary trend, what will happen? You will end up in chaos, because whatever is trending now may not be the trend in future. So you should be properly informed, properly aware, properly clear about what is happening around, which is super important in life. Are you getting what I'm talking about? So like, following trends is one reason or one mistake which many people make. Second is peer pressure. The peers may be your classmates, your neighbors, your relatives. So the peer pressure, it's because that person took that career, I want to go there. Because of that person moved to that university, I want to go there. So because of that person is doing that course, so I want to go there. That person becomes so successful in that career, I want to step in that career. That person becomes so successful in that career because the situation, personality, aptitude, everything of that person might be so supportive at that point of time. That doesn't mean that the career which makes a person successful is going to make you also successful. So peer pressure is one thing. And another very important thing, which I think many of you are, I couldn't see that in your chats, and this is about halo effect. And you know what is halo effect? Halo effect means some careers in this world are having a halo around, are more glamorous, more celebrated, more talked about, maybe having more social acceptance. So it may be like a career in medicine. We just want to jump into that. Generally, careers in medicine or careers in artificial intelligence, chartered accountancy. So these are some of the careers which are having too much of buy-in from people. So people, would they like it or not, they think it is fit for them or not, they have a tendency to jump into that career simply because it has a halo effect around itself. So these are, I want to tell you this because if you are choosing or planning to choose any career, because you need to ask to yourself, am I choosing this career simply because any of these mistakes, any of these problems? So what is the right way? You should not be choosing your career based on trends or peer pressure or halo effect. You should not be choosing a career because of trends or peer pressure or halo effect, because it is such a very, very important decision in our life, as we already listened to before. But here comes the question. Then what is the best way to decide on career? You may be thinking it is very easy to say, like, don't follow these kind of things when you are deciding a career. Then what is the best way to decide on career? I'm going to tell you the best way. The most important and the most renowned formula to decide on your career. Because as I was mentioning before, career is going to be something which you are going to spend most time in your life with, right? More than the time which you're going to spend with any of your relatives, whether that is right or wrong. We can discuss, we can debate about work-life balance kind of stuff. We can surely discuss about that. We can say we need to balance life and work. We need to spend more time for life. Everything we can think about, wonderful, fancy stuff. But once you are into, say, career, it's It's an unfortunate reality or a fortunate reality that you are going to spend more time with career than the time which you're going to spend with any other person, as I was mentioning in the beginning. So that important career is, and now come the question, what is the best way to decide on career? Let me tell you, you need to follow these keywords in your life. Number one, passion, which you always talk about passion, right? Number one, passion. Number two, personality. What is passion? First of all, let me ask you, what is passion? What is passion? Okay, passion is interest. Passion is interest. Passion is deadly desire to become something. As somebody is saying, passion is about our vision. Passion is about what we love. Passion is about what we think good for ourselves. Passion is about what we want to become in our life. Yes, all these questions, all these things we're getting as responses. But I want to tell you, passion is our hobby. Passion is our interest. Passion is our what I want to become in future. Passion is our skill. Passion is our hobby, our ambition, our interest, our aptitude. So a lot of words are coming in, right? A lot of words are coming in. But let me tell you, passion is something which is a desire, which is too close to your heart, which you're ready to spend your heart and soul in it. See, something become a passion for yourself. If you are, how can you check whether you are passionate about something? Even after doing that continuously for quite a long time, if you're not getting bored, if you're not getting irritated, if you're not getting disturbed, if you don't want to stop doing that, even after continuing it for quite a long time. For example, for the last around more than 5-6 decades, Bill Gates has been building up computer systems and not deep passionate about. For quite a long time, Ratan Tata is talking passionate about business and building new businesses, which he is not tired of, which is not disturbed of, which is not shut down from. So passion is something which is very, very close to your heart, which you're ready to put your heart out. Okay, that is passion. And number two, personality. If somebody is saying, I want to become a software engineer, I want to become an astronaut, there is a question, how can I be a physicist? How can I go to space? How can I become a space scientist? How can I become a doctor? How can I become an engineer? I'm seeing a lot of questions coming up. I think I will surely take those questions, and we have specific sessions to address those questions as well. But at the same time, you need to whether the career which you're going to do with, Akshat want to be a data engineer. So the career which you want to go with is in line with your passion, personality, and number three is possibility. What is possibility? Possibility means number of opportunities around. Example, there is a comment that from many people, there is a comment that I want to be a pilot, but have you thought about, or I want to be a forensic science expert, but have you thought about how many opportunities are going to be there for pilots when you complete your pilot study maybe after 5 years? Do you think that the flights will be still employing pilots even after 5 years? Do you think that there is going to be millions of opportunities, or at least a couple of lakhs of opportunities for forensic science in future? I'm not saying that these opportunities are not going to be there, but I'm asking you a question. Whatever you want to be in your life, have you thought very, very seriously that so are these opportunities, are these career tracks are going to be having opportunities or possibilities in future? And here goes my point. If you can choose a career which is in line with your passion, your personality, and your possibility. Let me tell you, if you can choose a career which is in line with your passion, your personality, and possibility, that means if you're getting into a career which you're passionate about and you have an aptitude alignment to, and the career is giving you immense number of opportunities, then that is going to be a career where you can find out your purpose, your meaning, your fulfillment, happiness, and total involvement and engagement in life. And now, let me just stop sharing my screen for a while. So my dear friends, whoever is listening to me, now let me tell you this. Let me just tell you like this. Like, you know, what we have discussed till now. Career is a very important thing in life. We discussed about the reasons why career is very important in life. Also, we discussed about what are the mistakes we make while deciding about career. And we also, discussed about, like, you know, how exactly we can choose the right career in life. And we ended up by saying we can choose the right career in life when there is an alignment of passion, personality, and possibilities. Now, whoever listened to me, you posted a lot of comments here. You want to be a medical doctor, an engineer, a chartered accountant, a lawyer, a pilot, a space scientist, an astrophysicist, an astrobiologist, or you may love to be an anti-aging expert or a genetic expert. So whatever you want to be in your life, think now, is that career in line with your passion, your personality, and your possibilities? That means the opportunities in future. Is that career in line with all these 3 P's? This is one question which you should ask to yourself very, very seriously. Because, you know, as we know that, so the career or industry is going to be very super competitive. Currently, we are competing with people to get into jobs. But let me tell you, in future, we will have to compete with machines to get into job. You may be attending an interview along with a robot. You may be taking a test along with a data science program. You may be attending a group discussion or a group project along with an AI algorithm. That means once you all are in schools now, when you complete your school education, complete your higher education, and start getting into jobs, you will even be competing with an AI algorithm or a robot or like a machine learning algorithm to get into a job. The employer will compare between your performance and the machine's performance to ensure that who is better to choose from. And also, whichever profession you are getting into, in that particular profession, you will have to use machines a lot in very, very closer to your heart. So are you capable for that? So because of these reasons, it is super important to make sure you are keeping your passion, personality, and possibilities or opportunities in one line when you are deciding about career. And now let me tell you something very important. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Now let me ask you the most important question. How to discover your passion? I want to listen from you how to discover your passion. Because we talk a lot about passion, we talk a lot about our keen interest areas. Passion is a very, very celebrated word. No doubt it is. No doubt on that. But how exactly we can discover passion? I also told you, you have to decide your career based on your passion. But how exactly we can decide our passion is a question which I want to ask you. What's your answer on that? I want to get into army. Okay, listen to my heart, listen to our interest, listen to our habits. I don't know. I have a passion. Of course, that's very good. From your interest, got it? So that means you believe from your interest, from your caliber, from your aptitude, you will be able to understand your passion, right? So again, I want to define passion as something which you are ready to spend your heart and soul out, okay? And here, one thing, before I tell you how to discover your passion, I want to tell you one thing very important. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong for not having a passion in life. Because that is absolutely normal. Because many of you may be thinking, see, Praveen, I don't have a real passion yet, or I'm yet to identify my passion. I would say that's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's absolutely fine, because not necessary that you should be very, very clear about our passion, even at this point of time. So if you ask me, was I passionate about becoming something when I was in 8th grade or 9th grade or 10th grade? Not at all. So a majority of the people are like that. So not necessary that, I mean, it's quite normal, absolutely normal, even if you're not passionate about something at this point of time. That's quite normal, okay? But this is a very important point. You have to identify pseudo passion. You have to identify about pseudo passion and what is pseudo passion, which is something very important. I'll tell you an example. So we had I was talking to a student from 9th grade, and the student is super passionate to become a forensic analyst. And she approached me just to help her plan how to become a forensic analyst. And I was asking her a question, why do you want to become a forensic analyst? She was saying, like, I want to become a forensic analyst because of a lot of reasons she mentioned. She mentioned that it is a great career, it's a fancy career, it's like a fashionable career. I want to travel around the world. I want to be a part of a lot of serious things in the world. So I want to become a forensic analyst. Then I asked a question, how much you love chemistry? She said, chemistry is something which I hate. Okay. How much you love biology? Biology is something which I'm not very comfortable with. So, but here comes the question. If you're not comfortable with biology, neither biology nor chemistry, then how exactly you are going to enjoy the career in forensic science? You know what happens here? The person wants to become a forensic analyst, not because of their love towards the subject, not because of the love towards the real life of a forensic analyst, not because the person knows very well what is happening in forensic science. It is simply because we see in movies that forensic analysts are super professionals. Professionals who are working very closely with the decision makers, who are into something very important, who's always in limelight, or who's always getting some attention. So the person want to become a forensic analyst, not because of the real reason, but because of a pseudo passion that person got on forensic science. Another example, a person wanted to be a lawyer. So I did my 5 years in law college as my undergraduation. Before I completed my master's and my executive education, I was doing 5 years to become a lawyer. So I was counseling one student who really wanted to become a lawyer. So I asked the person, why do you want to become a lawyer? So the person said, I'm too good in debating. Okay, that's fine. So any other reason you want to become a lawyer? I speak very well. Okay, that's fine. Any other reason you want to become a lawyer? Because I can surely negotiate well with people. Okay, then I asked the question, have you ever visited a court? Have you ever seen that what is happening inside a court? Have you ever met or talked to a lawyer and tried to understand what is happening in the life of a person? He said, no. Then I assigned the person, and here comes the importance of internships, apprenticeship, work experience, and all. So I asked this person to get a company with a lawyer who I studied with. A friend of mine. I asked this person to be with that person for a week and go to his office, go to the court, and see what is happening there. And this person did as what I said and come back with the answer that I don't want to become a lawyer, because the lawyer which I was envisaging, I was dreaming in my mind, I was thinking about is not exactly happening inside the court. That the person was having a pseudo passion. So it is absolutely normal even if you're not having a passion. But what is the problem is you have to think and understand, is your passion a pseudo passion or a real passion? And how exactly you can understand whether your passion is a real passion or not. There are two methods. I'll tell you the first method now. It's called the 3 whys method. 3 whys method. You have to ask yourself 3 whys. What is the first why? Imagine, let me take a scenario. Many people want to become artificial intelligence engineers, robotic engineers, and data analysts now. So let me take a question. Let me take a scenario whereas a person is passionate on data analysis. Example, you are passionate about data analysis. Then ask the first question. Why am I passionate on data analysis? Why am I passionate on data analysis? You may be coming up with multiple answers. You may be many may be coming up with answers like, so I'm so passionate about data. I'm obsessed with data. I believe data is going to be the new oil. I believe data is going to be the future. So I want to become a data analyst because I'm so obsessed with data. Then you ask yourself, why am I interested to work with data? Why exactly I am interested to work with data? Then you may be saying like, data is going to be the decision-making factor in future. Data is an emerging career. Data is a growing career. It's an upcoming career. But then again, you ask, why am I interested to work in data analysis among many other emerging careers? If you want to get into an emerging career, you can be into any other career, right? So why exactly you want to get into data science or data analysis? So this is another question which you should ask. I mean, these are the three whys, these three whys will help you explore more and more into yourself and try to understand whether you are really passionate about data analysis. And for this person is passionate about data analysis, not because the person understands what is happening inside data analysis. It's simply because the person understands it's an emerging career and want to become a data analyst. That's a reason, right? So that is not a passion then. It is just an obsession to a career, not a deeply rooted passion. So this is one way. That means ask continuous three whys to yourself to decide whether it is a real passion or not. And what is the second way? Go for an internship, go for getting some work experience, do some voluntary experience. Many people commented here, I think hundreds of comments I was seeing, like I want to be a pilot, I want to be a data analyst, I want to become an artificial engineer, intelligence engineer, I want to become a car designer, I want to become a geneticist, I want to become a judge, I want to become a cardiologist. That's fine, I understand. But how many of you ever visited the workplace of these people? How many of you have attached with any of the companies for a voluntary experience during your summer, during your Christmas holidays? I understand you have exams, you have things to study, you have your day-to-day activities to be completed, but along with that, not instead of that, along with that, it is super important, at least 2 weeks in 1 year. I'm not demanding for 2 months. 2 weeks in 1 year, at least you can spend on some internship or work experience, because even Lifeology is also envisaging a platform where people can do internship virtually, so that people can get easily connected with what is happening in the workplace, which is super important. So what I request is, and CBSE is providing immense opportunities to understand what is happening in each of the industries and what is happening in each of the skill sectors. See, either you can get attached to a company, attached to an organization, or take a course in that, which is again very important. If you're super passionate to become a data analyst, take a short course in data analysis and understand what is happening inside. Once you start drilling down, data analysis may not be as fascinating, as attractive as it is from outside. Becoming a lawyer may not be as fascinating as you see on screen in movies. It may be very boring. Sometimes it may be a very boring, dry, slow-moving kind of a career. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you want to discover your passion, the first thing is you should realize about pseudo passion. The second, if you really want to understand your passion, ask the three whys continuously. The why, the why, the why. That's one way. Second way is get attached to that particular profession for some time. And over a period of time, you understand, is this really my cup of tea or not? Which is very important. And now the second one, how to discover personality. And I would strongly, because this is very important, because if you want to become an artificial intelligence engineer, your logical intelligence, out of multiple intelligence, your logical intelligence should be exceptionally high. It should be exceptionally higher than what is required to become a normal computer engineer. If you want to become a robotic engineer in the mechanical field, your dexterity or your kinesthetic intelligence should be far higher than what is required to become a normal mechanical engineer. If you want to be a product designer, your visual intelligence and creativity should be far higher than what is even required to become a normal artist. If you want to become a geneticist, your naturalistic intelligence, that means your intelligence to get in touch with the bio things in life, and also your analytical intelligence should be very high. Similar like that, there are a lot of aspects in your personality. So if you want to become an actuary, in your life, or if you want to become a financial or investment banker or financial analyst in your life, it is again super important that your structured your structured thinking process, your detail orientation, your love towards numbers, all are very, very important. So see, the different people are having different personalities, right? So a person who is exceptionally performing well in computer engineering, like Bill Gates or like Sundar Pichai, would be having high in logical intelligence and high in structured thinking. But people who are into the design aspects would be too much good in their visual intelligences. And also people who are good in writing may be very good in their creativity. So like this, there are a lot of elements of personality which we should dig into. Unfortunately, we don't take this kind of an analysis in detail. I sometimes think that before we plan for an European trip, or you plan for a pan-India travel, or for a North Indian person traveling to South India, or South Indian person traveling to North India, for a 2 or 3 days vacation, we go for in-depth analysis of places. We go to various websites, we try to understand the reviews, we go for comparison of resorts, we go for comparison of the climate there, we go for reviews in multiple websites. And then, after analyzing a lot of things, we decide where to go and when to go, right? But unfortunately, before choosing our career, we hardly do such kind of a detailed dive in and analysis about ourselves. That is where this point comes. It is super important to discover your personality. And how to do that? Let me tell you, you have to go for a you have to go for a very structured scientific analysis for that. Because, if you analyze yourself, or you go for a pure analysis, or you go with the words of your mom or dad or your teacher, so they would be, and you would be, even I would be having our own biases, right? We have to, if we need to get an objective analysis, it is super important to rely upon scientific assessment by any person. From a reputed, team, because that scientific analysis will help you understand your aptitude, your intelligence orientation, your genetically acquired personality, your socially acquired personality. Putting all together, you will be able to decide on your right career. So what is important here? The second point is, number one, you have to understand your passion. Number two, you have to understand your personality. And number three, and now comes the question, what about the possibilities? The possibilities means opportunities, right? What about the possibilities? How to understand the possibilities? Now I want to ask you, how many of you subscribe to any, or how many of you read the career page of Economic Times or Financial Times? How many of you regularly take career updates from any of the news websites? How many of you read about the trends happening in careers? Which career is moving up? Which career is going down? Which career is going to be the future career? Which career is more paying? So other than some whims and fancies we have, or some amateuristic understanding we have about career, how many of us have really seriously take a deep dive into the possibilities? I want to listen to you on that. Okay. Okay, I started getting it.
We are awaiting your responses.
Yeah, we started getting it. I think me. Hi, I do, sir. Reading forever. I'm reading. I want to become a civil engineer. I'm reading that. Okay, so some funny comments as well. Yes, I absolutely, because like, you know, what I'm trying to tell you is it is very important to follow regular trends, updates, and news from various sources or from any one reliable source, which is very important. So this is how you can try to understand about your passion, your personality, and your possibilities. And now, and here comes the most important question: how to align the 3 P's? I would say, if you want to, now you understand your passion, your personality, and the possibilities, right? And now let me tell you, if you want to align these 3 P's, what I would do is, I would always go to an expert person to talk to. The person may be a counselor in your school, maybe a teacher you are so connected with, maybe the principal or the education leader at your school, maybe your mom or dad, if you think they are good to do for that. I mean, they are good to help you with. Or it can be your friends, relatives, or your neighbors, or a professional career counselor. So whoever you think appropriate, you think helpful for this, you need to go to that person and take a counseling or a coaching or advice or guidance from that person, and then take a help to align the passion, personality, and possibilities, because an external person can help you a lot in aligning this. And the person can be anybody you think appropriate. It can be a counselor or a teacher or an education leader or your friends or your mom or dad or a professional career counselor. But it is super important that you can, I mean, it is so helpful if you can take help from somebody outside to help you align passion, personality, and possibilities. And now, do we really require support? Do we really? Sometimes we think that, like, you know, I understand my passion, I understand my personality, I know the possibilities around. Do we really require support from outside? Show a picture for you. How many of you can recognize who is in this picture? How many of you can recognize who is in this picture? I can. Who is that? Let me see. I want to become an IBIN. Okay. Somebody saying I don't have confidence. Yes, no, only in the teenage. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an astronaut. Yeah. You can surely be an astronaut, and we can surely. You should attend the session on Saturday morning, whereas you are going to interact with a NASA scientist who is the current leader of Hubble Telescope project, so that, like, you know, you will be getting a fantastic opportunity to interact with person, how to become an astronaut as well. Yes, many of you understand this is Sachin Tendulkar, right? And Sachin Tendulkar is with who? And you see, Sachin Tendulkar is with his guru, with his coach, Ramakant Acharya, right? Even Sachin required a coach from outside to help him groom himself, develop himself, grow himself. And so we also. So and this is the right way to build ourselves to become into the right career. And now comes the question. Many of you ask, which P is going to be super important in life? Passion, personality, or possibility? I'll give you an answer like this. Passion is really important. If you are really passionate about a specific career, if you're really passionate to become an astronaut, if you're really passionate to become a military officer, if you're really passionate to go for NDA, National Defense Academy, if you're really passionate to become a teacher or a civil servant, don't look back. If you think that you're super passionate, then pursue that career and give importance to your passion. Who is on this picture now? This is Bill Gates when he is in his 8 or 9 years age. Since then, even today, this guy is super passionate about computers, about technology, about science, right? So that is passion. That is because something which I can continuously pursue for decades. So if you think that you have something which you can spend a couple of decades on it deeply every day, more than 10, 12 hours, then don't look back, take it and give importance to passion. However, you can also ensure that there is no drastic personality, non-alignment or scarcity of possibilities. If then you need to plan more. I'm not saying that you should not pursue your passion, then you need to plan more. That's it. So that, if that is the case, you can give importance to passion. And second question, you can give importance to personality if you are not so passionate about something and you and your family are ready to explore the best fit career. And you can give importance to personality. Also, if you want to test whatever you are passionate on is okay to pursue it and in line with your personality. If you want to test, that is also an opportunity, whereas you can get into a personality assessment. And number 3, but here comes a very important point, a possibility. If getting a job is extremely important for survival, for many people in this world, get a job as soon as possible is extremely important for survival. Then more than passion and personality, I recommend you to go behind possibilities. That means which job is going to give you more number of opportunities in future, the mass openings, go for that. So these are the scenarios which is telling you which job or which P you have to give more importance to. And now the last point. When should we start process? When should we start process of career planning? I would say today, because we have visited, Team Lifeology have visited various countries, the US, the UK, China, Korea, Japan, Germany, many countries to understand how exactly career planning is happening across. And we have traveled across all the states in India and gone through multiple levels of schools in India as well to understand how exactly the career planning is going on. See, guys and girls, let me tell you, the world is highly advanced in career planning. There are people holding a portfolio even when they are in their 6th grade or 7th grade or 8th grade. I'm not telling you life is career, but I'm telling you, you are getting into competition, and to do well in competition, it will be extremely important to prepare one step ahead of what others are doing. So it is super important that you have to start creating a portfolio from today. On Friday, we will be having an exclusive session on how to prepare a portfolio. But to start that, I will tell you, whatever you see on the screen now, start creating a template like this. And once the template is in, you can start filling it. Like, you can fill in achievements in academics, arts, sports, cultural activities, voluntary activities, entrepreneurship experience, internships, work experiences, team dynamic experiences, conference you attended, books you published, papers or article you published, training program attended, any non-curricular activities or meta-curricular certifications you possess, and the places you travel, languages you know. So create a portfolio. And based on this portfolio should be working as a passport for you to get into the top universities and to get into the top and to the topmost careers in the world. So if you ask me, when is the right time to start planning for career? I will tell you, today is the right time to start planning for the career and start doing it now. So guys and girls, for the last around 40 minutes, we have been interacting on how to plan for the best career in life. And I was telling you what is a career. Number 2, so why a career is important. Number 3, so what are the mistakes we make when we are choosing a career. Number 4, what we should do when we are choosing a career. That means the passion, personality, and possibility alignment. Then 5, 6, and 7, we discussed how to understand passion, how to understand possibility, and how to understand a very good personality. And then we discussed about the importance of how to align all the 3 together. And then we discussed, is it so important to get into a serious attempt or an initiative to align the 3 Ps. And then I was ending up my presentation saying, today is the right time to start it, because it is super important. If you are in grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, take your pen and paper now. Start or your laptop now and start creating the template of your portfolio, and then map each activity you do in your life with the portfolio, and do activities also to fill up the portfolio, which is important. And then you find it important, like, when a skill program is coming from CBSE, you find that so relevant because you can fill a part of your portfolio. When a new training program is coming up, you find it interesting to attend because you can fill up a part of the portfolio. When an internship opportunity is coming up, or a scholarship opportunity is coming up, or a fellowship opportunity is coming up, you find it so important because you can include it in your portfolio. So once you start creating this portfolio today and move ahead, you will find it super important to plan your career very, very productively. So now it's an open session. We were interacting since beginning, but there were limitations, I understand. So now we are getting in an open session for interaction. What we have done is some of the people who have asked exceptional questions, so we have picked them, we have invited them to join for live interaction as well. So we will be taking Q&A in two ways. Number one, we have invited a couple of people, the people who were asking exceptional questions, we have invited them to join us online here. So in video, so that they can ask questions through video. Second, we will also be picking up questions from YouTube. So Deepa, I would request you to pick up some good questions, relevant questions from YouTube so that I can answer them.
Well, that is really a humongous task, because the questions are like, it's just moving on. It's like scrolling, someone's scrolling in top speed. I'm not sure how I'm going to get a question from them. So many questions coming in. But of course, Praveen, there were students who actually have opened up and said that I don't feel confident. I need to feel confident. I mean, what can I do to gain confidence? There's so many of them saying this. I mean, what is happening to you guys? What is pulling you back? There is this very famous Dutch painter who once said, Vincent van Gogh. He said that, if there is a voice inside you that tells you you cannot paint, then by all means do paint, and that voice will be silenced. So if there is that voice inside you that pulls you back from doing something, then that is a signal to go ahead and do it. Because then that's the only way to silence the voice. Don't feed the voice. What is holding back on your confidence? Come on, you are all the next generation, the youth. There's nothing to lack confidence about. If there is something, then go ahead and do it. And that's how you gain confidence, not by backing out of it. All right. So that. And
Deepa, let me tell you let me add one more point. See, you talk about confidence, right? See, if you want to do something and you're not doing that, so then, see, why exactly we are losing confidence? We lose confidence because we have a feeling in mind, like we may fail. We may fail to do it. We may not be successful in doing that. But let me tell you, if you're not doing it, your possibility of not achieving it is 100%, right? 100%. But if you try to do it, the possibility of achieving is at least 50%, at least 10%. And 10% is far higher than 0% of confidence. So, 0% of achievement. So what I'm telling you is, so you are not confident to do something because you're not confident that you're going to be successful. But that will end up in 100% failure, 100% non-achievement. Try it. 1% you may become successful, and that is far ahead than not trying for it. So be confident, step into it, start it. And the only way to start moving forward in life is do it now. The maximum, you won't achieve it. Right. That you are not achieving even now. Not different, right? So be confident and do it, man. Yes, Deepa.
Right, Praveen. And there was somebody who said, I think this person really needs help. He just said that, I have my maths exam day after tomorrow, but I haven't studied anything. Well, that's a little too ambitious that, you don't study anything till today and you think you'll be able to do well. But you know what? There is still time. Okay. It's not tomorrow. It's still day after tomorrow. Stay optimistic, stay positive, and put your 100%. I always think that just believing in luck and believing in confidence alone will not take you somewhere. You need to do your part, and then confidence will automatically come in. So go ahead, give your best today and day after tomorrow, and it's just going to be good. Just take a chill pill. Don't relax. Okay. Don't get tense. Just relax. All right. So let's move on to the other questions. There are a lot of questions, Praveen, coming in as in, I want to become a doctor. What can I do about that? I want to become an IPS officer. How can I become an IPS officer? How can I be a data scientist? So there are a lot of questions about different careers. I think we have a lot of incredible, conversations and panel discussions lined up through the week. But Praveen, do you want to give them a hint about that?
Yep. So I will just take a couple, because again, a couple of questions, because let me tell you, as Deepa was rightly saying, so we are going to have, you can go through lifeology.com/NGF. National Guidance Festival, and you will see the calendar, or you will see the schedule for the session, and we have already emailed you the schedule as well. So go through the schedule and you will you will see there. So when exactly going to have which session is going to be at what time. So we are going to have sessions on careers in life science, careers in technology, careers in humanities, careers in banking field, so that in each of these careers in space science. So each of these sessions will be clinically discussing on careers in that aspect. So you can ask the same questions during the respective sessions as well. But let me take a couple of questions. How to become a medical doctor? So the answer is so simple. If you want to become a doctor in India, the only way is you have to attend NEET and you have to get qualified to get into a medical college in India, no doubt. So there is no exception to get into any medical college in India. You should attend NEET and qualified to get into a medical college, and centralized allotment will happen and you will get there. So what should you do? Study thoroughly on your science subject, which is very important. So if you want to become a doctor by studying in India, there is only one way. Do thorough study on your science subject, understand it very well, know the concepts thoroughly, practice the questions regularly, and ensure that you qualify with good grades and NEET and you get into the career, which is very important. Number two, the second question was about the most asked question is how to become a data analyst, which is very important. So there are two tracks, I would say. If you want to become a data analyst, there are two tracks. Number one, after completing your 10+2 with mathematics and maybe with computer science, so what you can do is you can take a track of study, whereas you do your bachelor's in engineering with specialization in data science. And if you're not able to find or get into any university with bachelor's in engineering with data science and specialization, then you can go for bachelor's in computer science and you can take a side course or you can take a part-time course on data science as well. So computer science plus data science or a BTech in data science will be super helpful for you to move forward. If you're not able to take that track, the second track can be, you can go for a BSc in statistics, and along with that, you can start studying, you can start understanding about computer science and do short courses in data sciences. And after completing your BSc in statistics, you can take a master's in data science. So that is the second way. So the first way is take a BTech in data science or computer science plus data science and go ahead in that track. Or go for BSc in statistics or mathematics by taking another courses for understanding computers and then get into a master's in data sciences. These are the two, I would say, the best fit phase to build your career in data science. And there is another track also. So complete your undergraduation in engineering by understanding the language of computers and start getting into an entry-level job with a company which is into data engineering, into data analysis, start working there for some time. And so you start understanding about the language of data analysis or data science so that you can grow yourself as a professional then and there also. And now, but the primary thing about this is how exactly you understand whether you are suitable to get into a career in data science. And for that, as I told you before, try to align your passion, personality, and your possibilities. And for that, you can also do something. Even today, you can start joining maybe in edX or Coursera or in our own SWAYAM platforms. So you can start join for a free course in data analysis to understand the language of data analysis. So that will help you understand whether it is the right career for me or not. That's about data analysis. And another person was asking how exactly I can become a space scientist. See, the space science is a vast arena. So there are courses. So of course you can get into specific courses in space studies even from undergraduation, but the most suitable way is take an undergraduate course in a pure science domain or an engineering domain. It may be for example, let me tell you 3 tracks. Number one, you can start your bachelor's in space science itself with institutions like Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology. There is a specific institute, Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology. So you can start your bachelor's in space science and technology engineering itself. That is one track. Second track, start doing your course in any of the science subject like in physics or in chemistry or in biology. And for your master's, you can start focusing on astrophysics or astrobiology or astrochemistry kind of subjects. That's the second way. And number 3, and the another way is you can also start thinking about doing a bachelor's in engineering, any stream of engineering, and then start preparing for MTech in space engineering, space science and engineering for your master's, so that you can get into the space science domain as well. But also keep in mind, space science is one course which is it's one career which is very, very niche in nature. So there may not be tens of thousands of opportunities, opening up in Space Science every year, but the opportunities may be in a couple of hundred span world. So you will get into tough competition. So you will have to face tough competition if you want to get into space science. So this is another most asked questions. Diba, any other career that has been asked by many people?
Yeah, I think astronomer, I think that would get covered in what you said right now, I guess. And then there are a lot of other questions. Somebody says, what about, okay, what to choose between passion and money? I think this is the question that is coming. I think even from Lifeology Youth Ambassadors, this was one question that kept repeatedly coming. I think that's a major confusion, Praveen. What to choose, money or passion?
I perfectly understand. And that's a tough question also, but I would just put it in this way, or I would just answer it in this way. So number one, so if suppose, I will just, let me just comment in these three statements. Number one, so if you are, at this point of time, if you're super passionate about something, and you do want to grow in that, and you're ready and okay to wait for some time, that means okay to stay hungry and stay foolish for quite some time, and you have the support system from family for that, then I would say it is very important. It's absolutely okay to give importance to passion, because after some time, the money will come to you. Are you getting the point? But if it is otherwise, that means if you should earn for your meeting the two ends of your life, or you should earn for your family, and you don't have enough time to start earning, you want to start earning very, very quickly. So then the only way is get into a job now and start and park your passion for the time being, and you can refresh your passion once you are settled in your life. Okay, so that means my answer is totally depends on who you are and what is the scenario you are into. So if you are into a scenario which is very settled and you don't have to start earning very quickly now for meeting up two ends in your life, and you have enough support and backup from the family or from the society, then you can continue start chasing for your passion, because chasing for passion, because passion is always something which is very big, right? Reaching there would take some time. So if you're ready and the situation is helping you to stay hungry and stay foolish, go for that. But if it is otherwise, of course, start earning quickly, so get settled, and once after that you can refresh your passion and you can start pursuing your passion. And this is how I want to take that question, Deepa.
Yeah, I think that's a good check to take. I mean, would you stay hungry and foolish for that passion? Do you feel so strongly about it? So there are a lot of other questions. Another one, how can we prevent temptations when we're going towards our goal? Temptation, distractions when you're actually pursuing a goal. That's another question. And yeah, go ahead. You can answer that and then I'll give you the rest.
Yeah, Diba. So that point is like, so when you are into, you set a goal, you set a destination, and you start moving forward. I think, so the team is saying like, the people have joined for asking questions as well. You can add them to the group so that like, they can start asking questions. So as I mentioned before, we have taken some people who ask the right top questions, and they are Lifeology Global Fellows as well. Some of them are, so Lifeology Youth Ambassadors. So they will be asking questions on screen as well. Okay. So before that, so about distractions. So let me tell you, the biggest problem the world is facing today, including I and all the people, is the level of distractions we are facing, which is too much. Because the social media or internet or WhatsApp, because even when I'm talking now, I'm getting WhatsApp messages and I get distracted. So even when I'm working, I come to know about multiple other opportunities, and I start distracted. There may be many other things which I'm interested about, and those things would be distracting ourselves. So I think, so one very important point we have to keep in our mind is, once we start setting up a goal and we start moving forward, it is super important on three things. Number one, understand very well, be aware and realize that you will surely get distracted by something. That awareness should be very important. Number two, you should be very, very clear to prioritize. That means whatever is coming to you, you can ask three questions to prioritize. The first question is like, what I want to be, what I want to do, a lot of things which I want to do, right? The second question is what I can do. Many things which I want to do, I cannot do. So I can weed out something. The third question is, what things I should do? Many things which I want to do and I can do, I should not do that. So I should be able to prioritize things accordingly. That is the second point. And the third point is, whatever common distractors I have, whatever major distractors I have, I need to be very clear to keep those distractors away as well. Maybe it is like detaching from some people. Maybe it is like reducing the use of social media. Maybe it is like reducing the time we spent on any other engagements. So we have to be able to detach from something as well if you want to focus on something. And focus on something, there is a cost, and the cost is detachment from something else. And be very clear, you cannot focus on your goal and proceed towards your goal by keeping you attached to everything. You have to keep you detached from something if you really want to focus on something. So this is why I want to address that particular question. Diba, is that clear?
Yes, absolutely. So I think the only way to, distract from your distractions is by understanding how important it is to focus. So once you have the understanding, then it should come to you. All right. And yes, Praveen, we do have a lot of other questions, but it's time to invite our student panelists. All right. And let me say that it's time to invite, can I say, my kids, because they're like so special to me. These are the cream of not just India, but also like from schools across, UAE and of course India. And they're called the Lifeology Youth Ambassadors. And they've been with Lifeology working on different projects for almost like 8 months right now. It's a year-long project for different schools. And the best of them who have asked the best questions are sharing the panel every day with the panelists. So today, it's Praveen's session and we have the youth ambassadors here ready. May I request the youth ambassadors to please turn on the video. May I proudly introduce all of you to the lakhs of students and parents who are watching you. Yes, I can see your smiles. I'm so happy to see you guys. Arya, Neha, Vidisha, hi. Aparna, Alka, and Dia. Great. How are you guys feeling?
Excited. I'm actually pretty excited.
Excited. Yes, that's exactly what I'm feeling. And a little, I'm so proud that, I'm able to you guys here. Right. So let's go ahead. Shoot your questions. You guys had some amazing questions for this speaker. That's Praveen. And on the topic, how to choose a suitable career. Okay. I'm sure that confusion is yours as much as it was ours. All right. So let's go ahead and ask the question. First, may I request Arya Malvisen. I would want you to introduce yourself first. Where do you hail from? Which school are you from? And then shoot your question.
So good evening, everyone. I'm Arya, and I'm in grade 12 from Uttam School for Girls, and I live in Uttar Pradesh. And my question is, what if you're interested in two things and you can't decide upon a single career? Like, I have been passionate about two things, and it has been a long time. So how do I decide upon what I actually want to do? Because obviously I can't do two things together.
2 points on that. Number one, you can of course do two things together. Okay. Whereas you can take one as a major career, which you are going to spend your 70% of the time for. And you can take another one as a second career or a sub-career, which you are going to spend your 30% on. Maybe after 5 years, if you want to strap it, so you can strap it. You can just switch it. Example. So let's take, Deepa is on screen now. So Deepa was working as leading the HR department of a company with more than 3,000 employees for 10 years. And at the same time, she was pursuing career as a media professional as well. Got it. So the first point I want to make is you can of course follow two careers together if by giving one major importance and second minor importance. That is one way. Second track is give your some number. So the studies are saying, and the trend is moving towards a place where it's like, we may not be doing one career in our life. Because your mom or dad would be doing one career in your life. A person who started working as a doctor may be continuing doctor in their 30th year of career also. A teacher would be continuing career as a teacher in their 30th year of career as well. But the new generation, that means your generation, may be doing more number of careers in your life. So that for the first 10 years, you may be focusing on one career. And from the 11th year onwards, you can start focusing on the second career. So whereas in both the careers, you can give your full to. So that's a second option. And third option, if you really want to, if you really want to choose between these two careers, so then what you should do is, I would say, start aligning the 3 Ps. and start weighing the 3 P's and understand. So you are very clear now that you are passionate about both the careers. That's perfect. Okay. The passion, the first P is there. And now you take up and understand about your attitude, your personality, your intelligence orientation, and try to see that which career is more fit with your personality. Got it? And second, if both the careers are fit with your personality, so then you need to analyze your possibilities as well. That means number of opportunities for that careers as well. And how many years you can, because some careers will be having a lot of opportunities. Some would be niche careers with less number of opportunities. So based on these 3 P's, by aligning the 3 P's, you will be able to find your best fit career option as well. So the first option is keep both together. Second option is do one and do second later. Third option, if you are so much obstinate that you want to choose one between these two, then what you should do is you should start aligning your passion, personality, and possibility, create a map of that, and take a very clinically perfect objective database decision. That would be the best advice I want to give you at this point in time. Maybe your school counselor can help you in that.
Somebody had asked a question on YouTube. Is it really wise to change career midway? Just related to this. So I thought you could comment on that.
Is it wild? The question is it?
Is it wise to change?
Oh, is it wise? Okay, I think that's that's about perspectives, because we have seen a generation which is fully into one career throughout their lifetime because of multiple reasons. So I would say you have two options in front, and both the options are right. And it is your thought and decision to choose which one. What is the first option? You can get into a career, dig deeper and deeper and deeper, be exceptionally good in that career, and be a master specialist in that career. That is one track. Of course, if you are into something which is super interesting for you, of course, you can continue that, no doubt at all. Number 2, you can switch your careers as well, because the career opportunities are changing. Too much of opportunities are coming up, and people don't mind even if you're switching careers. So after 10 years or 5 years, but minimum 5 years, you stick on to one career. But after 5 years, or between 5 to 10 years, if you see that there is another career which is kindling your passion, which you believe that or through an assessment, you understand your aptitude is also in alignment with that, and there is an opportunity in it, and you want to get it done. See, we have one life, right? So just do that. If you think that is appropriate, just do that. But if you ask me whether it is wise, I would say there is nothing wrong in that. If you're super confident that you can prepare yourself for that as well, you can surely do that. Yes, Diva.
Absolutely, sure. All right, now let's move on to our next youth ambassador. Of course, let me call Neha Vishwanath. Hi, Neha. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and looking forward to your question.
Good evening, everyone. I am Neha, and I'm from Neve Academy, Bangalore, and I'm in the 11th grade. So I just had one question. When it comes to choosing a career, would you recommend us to move more towards our interest, or more accurately, our passion, or more towards an up-and-coming and emerging career? And how does one create a good balance between the two?
Got it.
I think partially answered.
Yeah, not a problem. But because this is a huge confusion with many people, so I don't mind to repeat it again, in a more elaborated manner. So Neha, I would say, and this is an answer to many people who have been asking the same question. It's if you do have a passion, number 1. Number 2, if you're ready to spend a couple of decades on that. Number 3, if you have enough support system from your family and society, especially from your family, realistically, financially as well, to continue pursue that passion, if it is taking time to feed you. Got it? That means you can stay some time in your studies or your research, or by doing something small, and you have the support system for that. I would strongly recommend, if you have that passion, do chase it, and you will love it. Because once you get into a career which is your passion, you don't even feel that you are working for a day. You just feel that you are living it. Okay. So if you do have that scenario, getting into that, just step into that. But the second scenario, so if you don't have that support mechanism, and you think that you need to get into a job as early as possible to support you, to feed you, to support your family, then because it's a because we cannot be dreamers always, right? We need to be realistic as well, because I know the playing to the gallery is talking otherwise. I know people would clap to me if I speak otherwise, but I want to keep people's feet on ground and want to be as realistic as possible. If the support system is not there, what I would recommend is getting into a job which can feed you very quickly, start earning, save well, invest well, make money out of that, and then start chasing your passion. There are many people who start working for earning, start working for meeting the two ends of their life, get settled in their life, and then what they do is they start chasing their passion. Start chasing your passion in your 30s is not bad. Start chasing in your passion even in your 40s is not too late. You can do that. But there, what you need is proper financial intelligence and financial literacy. So this is one skill which I would say every person should grow in yourself. Because if you want to earn, get settled, earn something and start doing something which is of your interest, you need to have proper savings as well. And for that, you need to have proper investment as well, right? So that through proper financial literacy and understanding which you can gain, you can surely do that. And this is how I want to tell you, how exactly you can go with your choices between your passion and your, opportunities.
Thank you so much, Praveen. So Neha, I hope that's clearly and elaborately answered your question, but I'm sure the confusion will still be there a little bit. Just life will teach you how to go about it. And all right, the next question from Vidisha Bhandari. Yes, Vidisha, over to you. Please introduce yourself and go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I'm Vidisha Bhandari from India, and I'm grade 11 student of Paramount International School, Dwarka, New Delhi. And my question is, how do we actually identify the potential that our dream career will hold in the future, as future is full of uncertainties?
Oh, that's a wonderful question, because the future, as the Howard University rightly mentioned on an article, the future is going to be very, very VUCA in nature, right? It's going to be very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So even top companies or top analysts are not able to predict largely which career is going to be of too much of opportunities in future. But you can keep a couple of trends in your mind. Number one, whichever career is, for every career in future, it will be blended with technology. That means if you want to become a historian in future without understanding how exactly the data science works, you may not be able to pursue a career in history. If you want to become an anthropologist in future, you should understand about technology. That means whichever career you want to be, it is super important that you need to be literate in technology. That is number one. And number two, you will be competing with machines as well in future when you are trying to get into a job. As I was mentioning before, you may be attending an interview with a robot, along with a robot. You may be attending an assessment or a test along with an artificial intelligence algorithm. So you need to make, these are not things like fancy things because these are even happening now. You might have read about a short film which won awards in Cannes Festival, which is created by an AI algorithm. You might have known, you might have read a week before that, in an art competition, so the winner is an artist who used an artificial intelligence algorithm to create an art form. You might have gone through the party research project of Google, whereas the pictures or the images are created just by giving verbal comments. So that means in future, every career will be having a blend of technology. That is number one. Number two, every career you will be competing with machines, so that how exactly you can win over this competition by maximum human in nature. Because whatever the machine, because we cannot compete with a machine by becoming mechanical in nature, right? We can be competing with machine only by becoming more and more organic and humane in nature. So those human skills you have to improve in yourself. Okay, so now taking your question very specifically, whichever career which is going to be very mechanical, which is going to be very, I would say very automatable, I would say. So these careers will be derived in future. Whichever careers are going to be very organic, very human in nature, these careers are going to survive in future. And this will be applicable for every careers. Let me give you some examples. Number one, let's take a very, very fancy career we all have about doctors. Okay, so will being a doctor would be a good career in future? I would say like this. So there are too much of researchers going around the IBM Watson algorithm. Whereas see what's normally happening inside hospitals. We go, we meet a doctor asks a set of questions, and in many times the questions are mostly almost same kind of questions, same pattern of questions. We answer to the questions. Based on the questions, the doctor prescribed for an assessment or a test. We take the test, then there are base values. Up on the values, this is the reason. Down on the values, this is the reason. And the doctor analyzes between the answers we gave and the test results and predict this is our, or just diagnose this is the disease, and will prescribe the medicines. This is how many of the doctors are functioning, right? Many, I'm not saying most, but many, correct? So this can easily be done by a machine. That doesn't mean that the career of doctor is not going to be there. But the doctors will survive if they can provide something more to the patients than what exactly a mechanical machine can provide. Got it? Let's take another example of a chartered accountant. So what is the current value of chartered accountant more than the help or advice they give to people as advisors or financial advisors? They are having authority, right? So they have to sign a couple of papers if you need to file those papers. But now most of the transactions are moving into blockchain. When blockchain is becoming the new normal in future, so what will be will chartered accountants would be carrying the same set of authority in future? May not be. But will they survive? Yes, they survive. When how they can survive? If they can come up with proper investment or proper advices to people to manage their finances in a better way than the normal mechanical things they follow, they will survive. Let's take the example of coders. So the coding is highly getting automated. That doesn't mean that the future engineers will not be having job opportunities. But engineers who are just engineering graduates who are not real engineers, that means they just passed out of an engineering college and ready to do some base level of coding, these people will not be getting jobs. But who will survive? The people who are real engineers with an engineering acumen will survive. Got it? So I will just, I want to sum it up with three statements. Number one, so every career will be affected by technology and the VUCA in future, every career. And in every career, we will survive only if we are doing something which machine can, something more than or beyond what machine can do. Any career. Let's take another example of journalism. Let's take a quick example of journalism, right? See, there are auto content creating softwares even now. I give a title and I give the command, right, in which mood I want to get this article on. So there are auto content generating algorithms which is creating articles for me. So then how exactly a journalist can survive? A journalist will survive only if they are writing insightful articles than what a machine can do. So point number one, in the VUCA future, every career will be affected and we will survive only if we are doing something more than or beyond than what a machine can do. That's number one. Number two, some careers will totally get vanished, and those careers are careers which are too mechanical and too automatable in nature. Got it? So that is number two. And number three, how exactly we should prepare ourselves? The only way is understand technology, whichever career you want to go for, get vetted with technology in that career, and also be more and more human in nature so that we will continue to be relevant in future. Yes, over to you.
Yes. So, yes, the next question is by, of course, Aparna Rairod. Hi, Aparna. How are you feeling today?
Very excited.
All right. So go ahead, ask us your question and introduce yourself.
Yes. So my name is Aparna Rairod, and I study in Bhavans Vidya. Question is, so what do you think, at which age do you think the right time to start working? And also if we want to pursue a career while we go to college or while we are still continuing our studies, how do we manage or how do we strike a balance between?
Diva, is the question like, what is the right age to start working? Number one. So Aparna, let me know whether I got you right. So you asked me which is the right age to start working, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Other question after that?
After that, if we want to work while we study, how do we maintain a balance between those two things?
Wonderful, wonderful question. So I would tell you, like, you know, it is, see, you need to see work in this way. Number one, it is very, very important to set a proper understanding and proper understanding of something. So before you start getting into a full-time job on that. So I would say at least up to the full bachelor's level, and if possible to the master's level, you do your studies, which is very, very important. So I may seems to be a conservative person in that, because there are a lot, because it is always playing to the gallery is like, you know, start working from now. But I would say no. So try to understand the world. Try to understand what you're going to do. Try to understand seriously about, your job. So for that, you are spending, say, 3 years or 4 years or 5 years for your UG, and for 1 or 2 years for your master's is not a problem at all. So you need to spend your time at least up to your master's, I would recommend, to ensure that you are getting the solid foundation to work. Okay, that is number one. Number two, that doesn't mean that you should not take up short assignments in between. You should start taking up short assignments even possibly from today. That means it may be a summer assignment. It may be an assignment between your 10+2 and you're starting off your undergraduation. It may be your the time between your undergraduation and master's. If you want to work for a year, you do that. Not a problem at all. But start doing something parallel to your studies, which is not taxing the amount of the investment which you have to put for your academics. Because I mean, over a period of time, what I understand is like, you know, solid foundation on academics become very, very important to grow in this world, because you need to have that base well set to grow in this world. So let me tell like this. Number one, if you ask me what is the right age to start full-time work, I would say do your undergraduation, start working is fine. But if you can complete your master's, if you're so clear about which one you want to do master's on, do that and then start working on, working, number one. Number two, but that doesn't mean that you should not do anything. So without taxing the time you want to spend for your studies, you do some internship, voluntary experiences, work experiences parallel to this. And number three, study never ends. Even after you start working, you need to keep you updated by taking a decision that in every 2 years, at least you attach one certification to your profile, which is very important. So that is the point. That is how I want to take that question. And Diva, I think we go for the last question, right?
Last two questions. We've got last two questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Alka Jackson and Dia Kostrick. Yes, Alka Jackson, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alka Jackson. I'm a student of class 12 in Sharjah Indian School. So my question is, if you've already visited a career counselor and done all the necessary tests, but what if a person is not satisfied with the outcome of the test, or they think that the given profession isn't suitable for them, then what is the next step to be taken?
That's a tricky question. So I would say, I would just put it in this way. So we meet up a doctor for a disease we have, and the doctor is not curing that illness. What we will do? Will we sit at home and try to self-treat?
No, sir.
Go to a better doctor, right?
Yes, sir.
Go to a better doctor. So I would say, if you meet up with a counselor and you're not able to get a convincing answer or not able to get a convincing solution from the person, so the best point to do is meet up a better person. That's number one. And number two, if you're not able to meet up a better person, if you're not finding such a person, what you can do is you can, this is the less advisable thing, but still you can try to do these things by yourself. That means, like, number one, you ask the 3 whys to yourself and try to identify your passion and create an out of that. Number two, there are assessments available. Even no true counselors, there are assessments available, right? Take a couple of assessments and try to get your profile properly listed, go through that and try to understand that. Number three, also try to attend conferences or employment fairs or like virtual videos, whereas when these kind of guidance conclave, and try to understand about what careers, what type of careers are moving ahead, and then pour your heart and soul onto these three things and try to align these three things and take a shot. But this is a less advisable one because it takes too much of time from a person, and it demands professional skills for helping a person to align these three. So the first recommendation I give you is, if you're not, if your illness is not cured by a doctor, go to a better doctor. In the same way, go to a better counselor.
Yeah, something like a second opinion. I'm sure you would do that. All right, let's move on to the last question from the Lifeology Youth Ambassador Group, and that's Dia Kaushik. Dia, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. So first of all, I hope Deepa ma'am and sir, you both are doing great. It was a really wonderful session today. Thank you for that. And here's my question, and it's actually a pretty basic question. It is, when it comes to choosing a right career, as we also choose a right career, what is the definition of right here? Is it about the earning you get from the job, or is it about the working environment of the job, or the comfort zone you get at the job, or basically your interest in the job? What's the most important? What defines right?
I just put it in a very simple sentence like this. A career become best career if you are ready to be with that career in a full-hearted manner for 3 decades to the minimum. You continue that for 3 decades or not is a different manner. But are you ready to do that for 30 years in your life? Are you ready to teach for 30 years in your life? Are you ready to police for 30 years in your life? Are you ready to spend time with patients for 30 years in your life? Are you ready to spend time in between machines for 30 years in your life? Are you ready to spend time with numbers for 30 years in your life? If you think that I can do this for 3 decades continuously in my life, every day around 10 to 12 years, that is the best career for you. And for any career to become one suitable for that, it is super important that it is aligning somewhere with your passion. It should be having it, your personality should support that. Otherwise, you know, what will happen is, like, on the way, we feel totally disturbed. Why do we feel totally disturbed? So in the career, because of the personality non-alignment, we may not be able to perform better. So we put a lot of effort and we fail to perform better. What will happen is, like, we get totally demotivated, frustrated, we feel lost. So that's the importance of getting into a career which is supported with your personality. And number 3, so opportunities, because and it should pay you well, because you cannot continue in one career for 30 years if it is not paying you well, right? So that is also very important. So in one sentence, which career is suitable career for you? A career which you can, you're so sure that I can be in this career for 3 decades, that is the best career. But to be into any career for 3 decades, it should be matching with your passion, your personality, and the possibilities around. But that doesn't mean that you need to continue for 3 decades. Okay, but I'm just defining what exactly a best career is.
Great. So well explained, Praveen. I mean, it makes me think whether I made the right decision when I chose my career. But that's exactly how you sum it up. Thank you so much, Praveen. And thank you, Lifeology Youth Ambassadors. Some amazing questions. And I'm sure a lot of them who are watching this would relate to your questions, because that's probably the question they had on their mind. So you were actually representing the youth, rightly being called youth ambassadors. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for sharing the panel with Praveen Parmeshwar, CEO of Lifeology. Thank you, all of you. All right. So on that note, Praveen, we did have a lot of repeated questions coming. One of them was, how do I become a sports person? I know we are drastically running short of time, but there's somebody who's really, really desperate to become a sports person and who's gone on asking the question multiple times.
Of course. See, like, you know, to become a sports person, there is a passion, personality, and possibility is fine. But along with that, another P need to be there to become a sports person, which is physical fitness, right? So you need to think about your physical fitness as well. So what I strongly recommend is, so try to talk to your sports teacher, or go to a sports school nearby and talk to a person there, or go to a sports counselor and talk to a person over there to understand, like, you know, are you really fit to grow in your career career in sports, because interest in sports and taking career in sports is very, very different. It's extremely different. A person who is super important to play basketball doesn't mean that the person is fit to pursue it as a career, same as in cricket or in athletics. So very important that you need to talk to an expert in sports, or through your school counselor, get in touch with a person who can support you to understand whether you are physically fit for a career in sports, because there are even blood tests, there are even physiological measurement tests to help you understand whether you are fit to take that as a career. Number one. Number two, you need to decide which item is fit for you. The item which you are spending too much of time on now, so whether that is the best item for you, or is there something different? That also you need to, either because of your passion you can choose, or with the advice from somebody you can choose. That's the second point. And number three, the third point is you should also keep in your mind, career in sports is also a niche career, which may not pay you very quickly, which may not pay you like, very much initially. So you need to be ready to stay hungry and stay foolish if you want to get into sports also. So what I recommend is, so what is the way forward? Number one, fix the item you want to get into. Number two, get proper training from the best training institute for that. And for that, you need to attend the training assessments, the selection proceedings of that institute. And number three, get a very, very good coach. And the good coach comes from the good institute many times. So fix your item, get into the best institute, start getting trained, and be a wonderful professional. But before that, you need to check whether you are perfectly fit to get into a career in sports, which is very important. And keep in mind, sports is a career for a person who is ready to stay hungry and stay foolish, because that's not going to pay you very, very quickly. Maybe like a robotic engineer, or maybe like a doctor. It may not be going to pay you very quickly a lump sum, a quick amount of, a fixed amount of money. And you need to be, you need to go along with the volatility of that career also. It has too much of ups and downs, and it is too much age related. Why I'm saying about these negative things, because already you are very aware of the positive things. Because once we start thinking about something, we have a confirmation bias. And you know what is confirmation bias? Confirmation bias means this is one bias which is affecting ourselves when we think about career. If we want to become something, then whatever things come to our life, we will manipulate in a way supporting to our decision. So if you want to become an astronaut, so everything which is coming in front of me, I will only manipulate, but I don't use the word manipulate, I will only interpret it in favor of that decision. I want to get into one particular university. I describe everything about that university, whether it is negative or positive, only in a positive way. That's called confirmation bias. Don't let your confirmation bias affect you. That's why I'm just giving you the other side of that as well. Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that gives you that gives you all the information that's required for you to take the decision. So that's why we have to talk about all sides of it. Remember, Virat Kohli, Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, or Messi was not born in a day. So it really takes time. All right. So that's it in terms of questions. There's someone who repeatedly, I think it's Manasvi, somebody who repeatedly asked about how to become a Lifeology Youth Ambassador. Please watch out for the Lifeology announcements next year, because this year we are closed. We already have a bunch of ambassadors, so we'll be announcing it next year. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, so that's all. Thank you so much. And of course, there's so much more coming in tomorrow. Well, he is always the author of 5 Point Someone for me, though he's written so many, super books. But then for me, he's always a 5 Point Someone, or, author. But tomorrow, he's not just going to talk about 5 points. He's going to talk about 6 points on success in the 21st century. Yes, I'm talking about none other than the most celebrated author in India. Someone was asking me on chat, Chetan Bhagat nahi aayega kya? Zarur aayenge, kal aayenge. All right. So Chetan Bhagat is going to be appearing on the panel tomorrow on day 2 of the National Guidance Festival. So stay tuned, guys. And along with him, we have, I'm a big fan of this person. I love his write-ups. He is a representative from the United Nations, none other than Shri Murli Tumarakudi. That's going to be extremely interactive and interesting session. So I'm so excited for tomorrow, as you are. All right. So let's get back tomorrow. And until then, that's it for today. All of you guys, there's one thing I want to tell you. Don't think too much. Just follow the right route. and smile, be happy, relax, take a chill pill, and remember what you saw today is just the trailer. Picture abhi baki hai mere dost. So let's come back tomorrow for more excitement, more fun. Thank you so much, Youth Ambassadors. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you, my dear team Lifeology, for organizing such an amazing evening. Just the tip of the iceberg of what is yet to come. Thank you so much. Good night. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All the best.